Okay, lessons from my life as a young filmmaker. Okay, way back in the 90s when I was a kid, there was the show Beverly Hills 90210. It's one of my favorites of all time. And one of my favorite character in it, played by Shannon Doherty, was written off the show because of Shannon Doherty's unprofessional behavior, being late for set. Okay, hold that thought. When I was starting out early in my producer life, indie filmmaking, one long summer we had this long shoot. It was like the biggest thing we'd ever done, and I had gone around to set up all the locations, and I got all the schedules from all the actors and all the crew, and I went and set it all up and arranged it, got it all laid out. And this actor had agreed to it on the day they were supposed to come and film. And mind you, we had one day to film at this location that the owner had allowed, because she, the owner, had to get up in the morning and she was staying late for us to accommodate us. Okay. So this was all fairly well known. And if it wasn't, anyone could have asked and I would have said, this is what's going on. Or I was trying to communicate everything, locations, why we have to film on this day, along with everybody's schedule. So this actor agreed. And this was their day. Like, we were filming their scenes at this place. Right, like an hour before they were to film, they called, or they started messaging me saying they weren't going to come. They weren't feeling good. They might have kidney stones. They might have to go to the hospital. Okay, go to the hospital. Definitely, we'll accommodate that. That's an emergency. But they didn't. And they weren't they just didn't want to come, basically. They decided that they weren't feeling up to it, so they just weren't going to come. And all these people were waiting around. We had to figure out something else to film. And then I had to ask this woman, the owner of the establishment, who stayed late from work and then went to bed later than she should have, if we could come back the next week. I never got a thank you. I never got an apology from this actor. Okay. So the next week that we had set, because this person had refused to come, no medical emergency, was late by 2 hours. We couldn't film for 2 hours because they were in all the scenes. Not only that, but they were coming. The costumer was driving them, and they stopped and they got dinner, which made them even more late. And then when they got there, they tried to get the costumer to sit down and have dinner with them. And it was like, no, we've been waiting for 2 hours. Okay, I did nothing. I didn't feel that I had the strength to stand up for myself. Now I can. Now I have people that would be like, this is messed up. We got to do something about this. This can't be. Like, give them a warning or write them out. I've talked to people. They say, just write them out. Find somebody else to play the part. But I was too afraid to say no, because this was somebody I also thought was a friend. Side note, friends don't do that to friends. But I've learned that now. So back to Beverly Hills 90210. Shannon Doherty got fired. It was not the end of her life because she got fired. She went on to be on Charmed, which was also produced by Aaron Spelling. So Aaron Spelling continued to keep her in his life and worked with her in one capacity or the other. And then Shannon Doherty has gone on to have a pretty active career, and keep working and be pretty relevant even to this day, and beloved by her fans from Beverly Hills 90210, maybe more than she would have if she had stayed the whole 10 years. Then, a few years after that whole incident, and probably in the 2000s, she ended up patching up her relationship with the cast members from Beverly Hills 90210 that she had once quarreled with, had issues with. And now they're friends, and they consider themselves family, and they love each other, and they've moved on. So my lesson for myself in all of this, and I've experienced this when I've heard the word no or gotten fired, when good things have come out of it. The lesson is, no can lead to yes. Sometimes no leads to yes.